So when things get tough, when you're tempted to quit, remember that perseverance and consistency are what will carry you through. Don't focus on the obstacles, focus on the process, focus on the work. Focus on showing up every single day and doing what needs to be done. The road may be long, the journey may be difficult, but as long as you keep going, as long as you keep moving forward, you will get there. Success is not about the destination, it's about the effort you put in along the way. And the effort you put in every day will lead you to a place that most people only dream of reaching. But it's not magic. It's perseverance. It's consistency. It's the daily commitment to doing the work, no matter what. And that is how you win. The journey to success, happiness, and fulfillment is not a straight line. It's a winding road full of detours, unexpected turns, and challenges that will test you in ways you could never have anticipated. But that's the beauty of it. The journey is not just about reaching the destination, it's about who you become along the way. It's about the lessons you learn, the growth you experience, and the person you develop as you navigate the ups and downs of life. Embracing the journey means understanding that the road itself is where the transformation happens. Success doesn't happen because you reach a particular point. It happens because of the effort, the perseverance, and the personal growth you experience as you move forward. There's a saying that goes, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey, but what does that truly mean? It means that the value of the experience is not just in the end result, but in everything that happens along the way. Each step you take, each challenge you face, each setback and triumph, it's all part of your personal growth. If you only focus on the destination, you miss the opportunity to grow through the process. The real treasure lies not in what you achieve, but in who you become by the time you get there. When you set a goal, it's easy to get fixated on the outcome. You want the promotion, the financial security, the recognition, or whatever it is that you're striving for. But if you focus solely on the end result, you run the risk of losing sight of the lessons that come from the journey itself. The journey is where you learn resilience. It's where you develop patience, discipline, and mental toughness. It's where you discover new strengths and abilities that you didn't even know you had. The path is where you refine your character and test your limits. When you embrace the journey, you start to see every obstacle as an opportunity to grow. Every challenge becomes a stepping stone, and every failure, though painful, becomes a lesson that shapes you. It's easy to see success as a destination, to think that when you get that promotion, when you finish that project, when you reach that milestone, you'll finally be happy, fulfilled, or content. But the truth is, if you're constantly chasing after the next thing, you'll never truly be satisfied. There will always be something else to reach for, another milestone to hit, another achievement to check off. That's why it's important to embrace the journey, not just the destination. The journey teaches you how to enjoy the process, how to find fulfillment in the small victories and the quiet moments along the way. It's about being present, about learning to appreciate where you are right now, not just where you're headed. As you walk along this journey, it's important to recognize that you are constantly evolving. Every experience, every person you meet, every challenge you face is shaping you into a different version of yourself. Growth isn't just about acquiring more knowledge or skills, it's about expanding your emotional, mental, and spiritual capacities. Personal growth comes from pushing past your comfort zone, from stepping into situations that make you uncomfortable, and from facing fears and doubts that you didn't even know existed inside of you. The more you challenge yourself, the more you grow. And the more you grow, the more equipped you become to handle the challenges that life throws your way. One of the most significant parts of the journey is learning how to embrace discomfort. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. It doesn't happen when you're sitting back and playing it safe. It happens when you're pushed to your limits, when you're forced to stretch and evolve into someone new. Embracing discomfort means accepting that you will encounter obstacles, you will face adversity, you will struggle, and you will fail. But those struggles and failures are the very things that will help you grow. You can't skip the struggle. You can't bypass the discomfort. It's necessary for your growth. As you continue on your journey, you'll realize that the only way to make real progress is by staying committed to the process. Success is not a one-time event, and it's not an overnight achievement. It's a series of small, deliberate steps that build over time. It's waking up every day and choosing to keep moving forward, even when you don't feel like it, even when things seem impossible. It's about doing the work, even when it feels like nothing is happening. But over time, all of those small steps add up. It's like compounding interest. The effort you put in today will eventually pay off, even if you can't see the results right away. The key is to stay consistent and trust that the work you're doing is making a difference, even when it feels like you're not getting anywhere. Personal growth also involves learning to handle setbacks with grace. Life will inevitably knock you down. You will face challenges that seem insurmountable, and you will encounter failures that make you question your abilities. But those moments of failure are not the end. They are the beginning of a new chapter in your growth. How you handle failure will define who you become. If you let failure break you, if you allow it to define you, then it will. But if you view failure as a lesson, if you use it as a tool for growth, then it becomes an essential part of your success. Every setback is an opportunity to learn something new, to grow stronger, and to develop resilience. One of the most difficult but essential aspects of personal growth is learning how to manage your thoughts and emotions. Your mind is incredibly powerful, and the way you think can either propel you forward or hold you back. The journey of growth requires you to become aware of your thoughts and take control of them. You can't let negative thoughts dictate your actions. You can't let fear or doubt control your decisions. It's crucial to develop a mindset that supports your growth, one that is focused on progress, not perfection. A mindset that understands setbacks are temporary and that growth is a process, not an event. Along the way, you'll also encounter people who will challenge you, criticize you, or tell you that you can't achieve your goals. It's important to understand that their opinions don't define you. Everyone has their own journey, and their limitations often have nothing to do with your potential. Don't let other people's doubts stop you from pursuing your dreams. The only person whose opinion truly matters is the one in the mirror. When you embrace the journey, you realize that other people's negativity is not your problem. Their doubts, their insecurities, and their fears are their own. You have the power to choose how you respond. Don't let anyone dictate your path. Keep moving forward, stay focused on your vision, and don't let others' opinions cloud your sense of purpose. Another key part of embracing the journey and personal growth is learning to embrace your own uniqueness. We live in a world where it's easy to compare ourselves to others, to measure our success against someone else's. But personal growth is not a competition. It's not about being better than anyone else. It's about being the best version of yourself. The more you embrace your uniqueness, the more you can step into your full potential. Your journey is yours and no one else's. Your growth is personal, and it doesn't need to look like anyone else's. It's about discovering your own strengths, talents, and passions, and using them to create the life you want. As you continue on this journey of personal growth, you'll realize that the most important thing is to never stop learning. The journey of growth doesn't have a finish line. It's not something you achieve and then move on from. Growth is a lifelong process. You never truly arrive. There's always more to learn, more to discover, more to improve. This is not a burden, it's a gift. It's an opportunity to continue evolving, to continue becoming the best version of yourself, no matter how old you are, or how far along you are in life. The moment you stop learning is the moment you stop growing. Embrace the journey of personal growth. Understand that every step, every challenge, every failure, and every success is part of the beautiful process of becoming who you are meant to be. Don't rush through it. Don't skip the hard parts. Embrace every single moment, because it's all part of your transformation. When you look back at your journey, you'll realize that the person you are today is a direct result of all the experiences you've had. It's the journey that shapes you. It's the journey that molds you. And it's the journey that leads you to the person you are becoming. And that, my friend, is the real reward. Another important part of overcoming failure is learning to manage fear. Fear is often the root cause of why we give up. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of not being good enough. But let me tell you something, fear is not a reason to stop. Fear is a signal that you are pushing yourself into new territory, that you are stepping outside of your comfort zone. And that is exactly where growth happens. If you're not afraid, if you're not nervous, you're probably not challenging yourself enough. It's the fear that shows you're on the right track. It's the fear that shows you're moving in the direction of your dream. So instead of letting fear stop you, use it as a motivator. Use it to push you forward. When you fail, don't be afraid to ask for help. It's okay to reach out to others who have walked the same path. Sometimes overcoming challenges requires the support of those who have been there before. It's not a sign of weakness to ask for advice or guidance, it's a sign of strength. The most successful people didn't get there on their own. They had mentors, friends, and supporters who helped them along the way. If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. You don't have to do it all on your own. There's strength in collaboration. There's power in surrounding yourself with people who believe in you, who can guide you, who can guide you, who can help you see things from a different perspective. Overcoming challenges and failures also means developing a level of patience with yourself. Progress takes time. Success doesn't happen overnight. It's a process, and that process requires persistence. You will not see immediate results. Sometimes the road feels long and slow, and you will wonder if you'll ever get there. But that's the point. Success is a marathon, not a sprint. You have to trust the process. You have to believe in the work you're putting in, even when it seems like you're not making progress. As long as you're moving forward, no matter how slowly you're making progress, every step counts. It's also important to embrace the idea of redefining success. Too many people think of success as a destination. They think it's something you achieve and then everything is perfect. But success is not a place you reach, it's a state of mind. It's about continually improving, continually learning, and continually growing. It's about developing the person you need to be in order to achieve the things you want to achieve. Success is not defined by the outcome, it's defined by the outcome, it's defined by the journey. And that journey is going to be full of failures, full of challenges. But those are the moments that make the success even sweeter. Those are the moments that prove that you earned it. You will fail. You will face challenges. But that's not the end of your story. That's just the beginning. It's the fire that refines you, the grind that shapes you, the lessons that prepare you for what's next. It's the moment when you realize that failure is not something to fear, it's something to embrace. Because when you embrace failure, when you see it as part of the process, when you use it to fuel your growth, you unlock the power to overcome anything that comes your way. And that, my friend, is the key to success. There is a certain magic and perseverance and consistency that many people fail to understand. The world often celebrates the extraordinary moments, the big wins, the breakthroughs, the triumphs. But the reality is that success doesn't come from one big moment. It comes from countless small moments, from showing up day after day, putting in the work, and pushing through when everything feels like it's going against you. Perseverance is the ability to keep going, even when the road gets tough. Consistency is doing that same work every day, even when the results aren't immediate, even when the finish line feels far away. These two qualities are the foundation of any long-lasting success, and without them, even the most talented people will fall short. The difference between those who achieve their dreams and those who don't isn't always talent. Talent is important, but it's not enough. You can be the most talented person in the world, but if you're not willing to show up consistently day after day to put in the work when no one is watching, your talent will go to waste. It's the people who show perseverance in the face of adversity, who keep pushing, even when they feel like giving up, who eventually reach their goals. The secret to success is in the grind, the daily effort that no one else sees, but that adds up over time to create something extraordinary. There are going to be days when it feels like nothing is happening, when you're putting in all the effort, but you don't see any results. Those are the hardest days, the days when you feel like quitting. It's easy to keep going when things are going well, when progress is visible and the rewards feel within reach. But the real test comes when things aren't working. The real test comes when you're putting in the work and seeing no immediate payoff. That's when you have to dig deep. That's when your perseverance is truly tested. You have to understand that the work you're doing today is laying the foundation for the success that will come tomorrow. It's like planting a seed. You can't expect a tree to grow overnight. You have to water it, nurture it, and give it time to grow. And in the same way, your effort will compound over time. The work you put in today may not show results immediately, but if you stay consistent, you will see the fruit of your labor eventually. One of the most important aspects of perseverance and consistency is understanding that progress isn't always linear. You won't always see constant forward movement. There will be setbacks. There will be moments where you feel like you're moving backward. But that doesn't mean you're failing. It doesn't mean you're not making progress. It just means that growth isn't always obvious. Just like a plant's roots grow deeper before it grows taller, your progress may be happening beneath the surface in ways that you can't yet see. But if you keep showing up, if you keep putting in the effort, you will eventually break through to the surface, and all of that hard work will be evident. Consistency doesn't just mean showing up. It means showing up with the same level of effort, the same focus, and the same drive every single day. It's about making your goals a priority no matter what else is going on in your life. It's easy to put in the work when everything is going smoothly, but it's much harder when life throws challenges your way. When you're tired, when you're overwhelmed, when you're facing distractions, it's then that consistency becomes a true test. You have to stay committed to your vision no matter what. The people who achieve their goals are not necessarily the smartest or most talented. They are the ones who don't give up. They are the ones who keep going even when the going gets tough. They understand that success doesn't happen overnight. It happens in small, consistent steps. Perseverance and consistency are also about adapting and learning from your mistakes. Sometimes, despite all the effort you put in, things won't work out the way you plan. You will fail. You will encounter setbacks. But that's not a reason to quit. It's a reason to learn. It's a reason to adjust your strategy and keep going. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's a part of success. The people who succeed are the ones who use failure as a stepping stone, not as an excuse to quit. They understand that each mistake brings them closer to the right answer. Each failure is a lesson that will eventually guide them to success. Perseverance means never letting failure define you. It means using failure as feedback, adjusting your approach, and trying again. Consistency doesn't just mean showing up physically, it also means showing up mentally and emotionally. Success requires emotional resilience. The journey will get tough, and there will be moments of doubt, frustration, and discouragement. It's during those moments that your emotional consistency is just as important as your physical consistency. You have to be able to manage your emotions, to not let them dictate your actions. Emotions are powerful, but they don't have to control you. When you feel discouraged, remember why you started. When you feel overwhelmed, remind yourself of the bigger picture. Emotional consistency means not letting temporary feelings cloud your long-term vision. It means staying calm in the storm, keeping your mind focused on the end goal, and not letting setbacks break your spirit. Perseverance also involves a level of patience. In a world where we're constantly seeking instant gratification, it can be hard to stay patient. We want things to happen now, and when they don't, it's easy to become disheartened. But success doesn't happen on your timeline. It happens on its own timeline. Patience is key. The greatest accomplishments take time. You can't rush the process. The road to success is paved with delays, setbacks, and obstacles, but that's what makes the victory so sweet. When you've put in the time, the work, and the effort, when you've stayed consistent, even when no one is watching, that's when the payoff comes. And it will be worth the wait. When we talk about perseverance and consistency, we're also talking about discipline. Discipline is the ability to stay on track when things get tough, when distractions arise, and when life tries to pull you away from your goals. It's about making the decision every single day to prioritize your vision. It's easy to get distracted by the noise around you, by other people's opinions, by all the things that are demanding your attention. But discipline means staying focused on your goals, even when life gets chaotic. It means saying no to things that don't align with your vision, and yes to the things that will help you get where you want to go. Discipline is the backbone of consistency. It's the foundation that allows you to keep showing up, even when it's difficult. Success isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. It's about pacing yourself, knowing when to push forward and when to pull back. You don't have to be perfect every day. Some days will be harder than others, and that's okay. Consistency doesn't mean perfection. It means making progress every day, even if that progress is small. It's about making the choice every single day to keep going. Perseverance means sticking with it, even when it feels like you're not getting anywhere. Even when you feel like you're not making progress. But if you stay consistent, if you keep putting in the effort, you'll eventually see the results. Success is built on consistency, and consistency is built on perseverance. I'm here to tell you that dreaming big is not enough. You have to be prepared for what comes with that dream, the grind. The grind isn't glamorous. It's not easy. It's not fun. And sometimes it feels like you're not making any progress at all. But if you can stick it out, if you can stay focused, if you can push through those difficult days, then eventually you will look up and realize you've moved farther than you thought possible. The truth is, nothing worth having ever comes easy. Nothing that is real value comes without effort. If it was easy, everyone would do it. And if everyone was doing it, it wouldn't mean anything. That's why when you set out on the path toward your dream, you have to understand that you're walking a road that is going to test your patience, your strength, and your resolve. You're going to hit roadblocks, you're going to face obstacles that feel insurmountable, and there will be days when you question whether it's all worth it. But in those moments, when you feel like quitting, when you feel like you're not getting anywhere, that's when you have to dig deeper. That's when you have to push harder. That's when you have to remind yourself that your dream is worth the effort. People will doubt you. People will tell you that your dream is too big, too unrealistic. They'll tell you that it's never been done before, or that people like you don't succeed. But those are the people who aren't willing to work hard. Those are the people who want to settle for mediocrity. They want to take the easy path, and they don't understand why you're willing to put in the work to achieve something greater. But you're not like them. You're the one who dares to dream big, who refuses to settle for less than what you know you're capable of. And that's why your path will be different, because you're not going to back down when things get tough. You're going to get up no matter how many times you fall and keep moving forward. Now, I know there are some of you who might be thinking, but I'm not ready. I don't have the resources, I don't have the connections, I don't have the experience. Listen to me, you don't need all of that to start. What you need is the will to do whatever it takes, the determination to learn, to grow, to hustle when others are resting. It's about starting where you are with what you have and making the most of it. Because I guarantee you, when you commit to the work, when you're willing to do whatever it takes, the resources will find their way to you. Opportunities will show up when you least expect them. You just have to be ready to recognize them and take advantage of them when they do. A big dream isn't a one-time effort. It's not about one big push, one big decision, or one big breakthrough. It's a series of small steps taken every single day, consistently and relentlessly. It's about making those sacrifices, doing what's necessary even when no one is watching, and putting in the work when everyone else is resting. Success is built over time, and it's made up of countless small efforts. Every day is another chance to move one step closer to that big dream. Every single day, you're either getting closer to your goal or moving farther away from it. And that choice is in your hands. The grind is about consistency. It's about doing the same things over and over, even when it feels repetitive, even when it feels like nothing's changing. Because the truth is, progress is often invisible. It's not always clear in the moment that your efforts are paying off. You may not see the results today or tomorrow or even next week, but that doesn't mean you're not making progress. You're laying the foundation, you're building something that will last. And one day you'll look back and realize how far you've come. So don't get discouraged when the results don't show up immediately. Keep doing the work, keep showing up, keep fighting, and eventually you'll see the fruits of your labor. Hard work isn't always about what you can do in the moment. Sometimes it's about what you're willing to do when nobody's watching. It's about what you're willing to sacrifice when no one is there to cheer you on. It's about the moments when you're alone with your thoughts and you decide to keep going, even when it feels like no one cares. That's when the real growth happens. That's when you prove to yourself that you're capable of more than you thought. That's when you create the character, the work ethic, the discipline that will carry you to success. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be easy. In fact, it's going to be harder than you ever imagined. But that's the point. Because if it were easy, it wouldn't be worth it. If everyone could do it, then it wouldn't be something special. It's the struggle, the hard work, the sweat and tears that make the end result so sweet. It's the journey, the ups and downs, the sacrifices that make success feel earned. And that's the beauty of it. The harder you work for something, the more satisfying it is when you finally achieve it. I know some of you are going to get discouraged along the way. I know there will be days when you feel like giving up, days when you feel like you're running out of steam. But this is where you have to dig deep. This is where you have to remind yourself that you're in this for the long haul. You're not just doing it for today, you're doing it for the future. You're doing it for the future. You're doing it for the life you want to build. So when you feel like quitting, when you feel like it's too hard, that's when you have to push through. That's when you have to find that inner strength and keep going. Because success is not just about talent or luck, it's about perseverance, it's about refusing to quit. It's about staying in the fight no matter what. If you truly want to dream big, you have to be prepared for the journey. You have to be prepared to give everything you've got. You have to be ready to face challenges, to overcome setbacks, and to put in the work that others are unwilling to do. You have to be willing to sacrifice comfort, to take risks, to step out of your comfort zone and make things happen. It's not about wishing for success. It's about working for it day in and day out, no matter what the world throws at you. So if you're going to dream big, you better be ready to work even bigger. The road will not be easy, but if you commit to the work, if you put in the effort and the time, you'll reach that dream. It may take longer than you expect. It may take more than you think you have in you, but if you keep working, if you keep pushing forward, you will get there. And when you do, you'll know that it was all worth it. The path to success is never straight. It's full of twists, turns, bumps, and obstacles that will challenge you in ways you never anticipated. Along the way, you will encounter failures. You will face setbacks that make you question whether all your effort is worth it. But here's the truth: failure is not the end. It's part of the journey. It's the test that separates those who are truly committed from those who are simply talking about their dreams. The only way to truly fail is to give up. Everything else is just a lesson, a stepping stone, a part of the process. We all face challenges. No one escapes them. Everyone has to deal with them in one form or another. And the people who seem to be successful, they've been knocked down just as much as you have. The difference is how they handle those challenges. They don't run away from them. They don't avoid the discomfort. They lean into it. They learn from it. And they use it to fuel their next move. When challenges come your way, and your first instinct might be to throw your hands up, to feel sorry for yourself, or to wonder why it's happening to you. But that reaction is the enemy of progress. It's easy to get lost in the frustration, to give in to self-pity, to become overwhelmed by the feeling of defeat. It's easy to look at the problem and think, this is too much for me, I can't do this, I'm not good enough. But those thoughts are lies. They are the voices of fear, the voices of doubt, trying to hold you back from what you're capable of. The truth is, challenges are opportunities in disguise. They're not obstacles meant to stop you, they're hurdles meant to push you further, to test your resolve, to see if you really want what you say you want. When you encounter failure, you have a choice. You can give up, or you can dig deep and find the strength to rise again. And if you rise again, you will come back stronger. The scars you collect along the way are not marks of weakness, they're reminders of your strength. They show that you didn't quit. They show that you stood tall, even when the world tried to knock you down. But overcoming challenges and failures requires more than just grit. It requires a mindset shift. You have to stop seeing failure as the end of the road and start seeing it as a part of the process. Failure is a teacher. It tells you what doesn't work. It shows you what you need to improve. It forces you to reevaluate your strategy, to look at your weaknesses, and to get better. If you take the lessons from failure and apply them, you will keep getting better, keep improving, and keep getting closer to your goal. The most successful people are not the ones who never failed, they are the ones who failed and got back up over and over again. They have a resilience that others don't. They don't let one bad experience define their journey. They don't let one failed attempt stop them from trying again. They take failure in stride, using it as fuel for their next move. Every time they fall, they rise, and they rise even higher than before. But that's not to say that overcoming failure is easy. It's not. There are times when it feels like the weight of the world is on your shoulders. You put in the work, you do everything right, and still things don't turn out the way you expect. And in those moments, it's okay to feel frustrated. It's okay to feel disappointed. But you can't stay there. You can't let those feelings consume you. The key is to acknowledge the disappointment, to feel it, and then to move on. You can't live in the past. You can't get stuck in what went wrong. You have to learn to look forward, to keep moving, to keep fighting for what you want. One of the hardest things about overcoming challenges is the emotional toll it takes. When you're giving everything you've got, when you're putting your heart and soul into something and it doesn't work out, it can feel personal. It can make you question yourself, your worth, and your abilities. But remember, failure is not a reflection of who you are. It's a reflection of what didn't work. You are not your failures. You are not the mistakes you've made. You are not defined by what hasn't gone right. Your value is not measured by your successes, but by your ability to keep moving forward despite your failures. Failure also brings with it an important realization: you don't control everything. No matter how hard you work, no matter how much effort you put in, sometimes things are simply out of your hands. The timing might not be right. External factors may come into play. Things might happen that you can't predict, that you can't control. And that's a hard pill to swallow. But when you accept that not everything is in your control, you can focus on what you can control. You can control your effort, you can control your attitude, you can control how you react to setbacks, you can control your determination to keep going. Ladies and gentlemen, let me paint a picture for you. Life is not easy. It's not meant to be easy. It's meant to test you, to challenge you, to push you to the edge of your limits, and then ask you to go even further. Now, some of you might be asking, what's the point? What's the purpose? Why bother? I'll tell you why. It's because you've got a dream. You've got something burning inside of you. You've got a vision of who you want to be, of what you want to accomplish. But here's the thing, the dream, that vision, it doesn't come easy. It won't fall into your lap. It won't be handed to you. You see, when you dream big, you're signing up for a life of struggle, of sacrifice, of grinding every single day. That's right, I said grind, because when you dream big, you're not just dreaming about a nice house or a shiny car or a fancy vacation. No, you're dreaming about something that has the potential to change the game. You're talking about creating something that matters, something that speaks to the heart of who you are, something that will leave a legacy. But let me tell you something, there are no shortcuts. No easy way out. Nobody's going to hand you a golden ticket. You're going to have to work for it. You're going to have to put in the hours, the sweat, the tears, and the blood. When the world says you can't, that's when you say, watch me when the door is closed in your face. You don't turn around and walk away. You find another door, or you break down that one. When you fall down, and trust me, you will fall down, you get back up and you keep going. Every single time. Because that's what champions do. Your dream is not going to just materialize out of thin air. You have to put in the work, the effort, the time. And even then, it won't be easy. There will be days when you're exhausted, days when you feel like you can't go any further. But guess what? That's the moment you dig deeper. That's when you find out what you're really made of. Because let me tell you something, success is not a straight line. It's not about a smooth road from point A to point B. It's messy. It's filled with bumps, turns, obstacles that seem impossible to overcome. But that's where the magic happens. That's where you grow. That's where you develop the strength, the character, the resilience that will carry you through. You can't be afraid of failure. You can't be afraid of challenges. In fact, you should welcome them. They're what separate the ones who will make it from the ones who won't. I know some of you are thinking, well, I don't have the talent, I don't have the resources, I don't have the connections. Guess what? I'm not interested in your excuses. The world doesn't care about your excuses. All it cares about is results. The question is, what are you willing to sacrifice to achieve your dream? What are you willing to do when nobody's looking? Are you ready to do whatever it takes? Because that's the difference. That's what sets the dreamers apart from the doers. You see, it's easy to talk about dreams. Everyone's got one. But most people aren't willing to put in the work. They're not willing to put in the effort when it's uncomfortable, when it's difficult. But you have to decide right now that you're not like most people. You have to make a choice. Will you be the one who goes all in? Will you be the one who fights every single day, no matter the odds? You have to understand something important. People will doubt you. People will tell you that you can't do it. They'll laugh at your vision, mock your dreams, tell you to get real. But you can't let that stop you. You can't let other people's doubts, their limitations, their small thinking dictate your future. They're not living your life. They don't see the fire in you. They don't know the passion you carry. So let them doubt. Let them talk. And while they're talking, you're out there putting in the work, doing the things they said you couldn't do. You're making moves. You're breaking barriers. You're showing up every day, no matter what, with a smile on your face and a fire in your belly. There will be times when you want to quit. I'm telling you, you'll feel like throwing in the towel. But that's when you dig deep. That's when you remind yourself why you started. That's when you push even harder. There is no room for quitters in the world of big dreams. You either show up or you don't. But if you show up, you better give it your all. You better give it everything you've got. Success isn't about talent alone. It's about perseverance. It's about consistency. It's about doing the right thing over and over again, even when it feels like nothing's changing. It's about trusting the process. And trust me, the process is not always glamorous. Sometimes it feels like you're moving in slow motion, like you're taking one step forward and two steps back. But every step, no matter how small, gets you closer to where you want to be. And when you hit those roadblocks, when you face the setbacks, when life knocks you down, remember this, that's not the end of your story. That's just a chapter. You've got a whole book to write. So don't get caught up in the moment. Don't get distracted by the failures. Use them. Learn from them. Grow from them. Let them fuel your determination. But here's the thing, success is not just about the destination. It's not about the fame, the recognition, or the material rewards. No, it's about the journey. It's about who you become along the way. It's about the person you have to grow into in order to achieve your dreams. That's the real reward. And let me tell you, the journey, it's worth it. All the pain, all the struggle, all the hard days, it's worth it when you finally see your dreams come to life. When you see all your hard work paying off. But you know what? Don't wait for that moment. Don't wait for the day when you think you've made it, because it never really happens that way. Success is an ongoing process. It's not something you reach and stop. It's something you build brick by brick, day after day. You've got to keep going, no matter how old you are, no matter where you're starting from, no matter what people say. You've got to keep moving forward. Because the world doesn't wait for anyone. Time keeps ticking, and the question is, will you use your time wisely, or will you let it slip through your fingers? What's your dream? What's that thing that's been on your heart deep inside of you for as long as you can remember? What's that thing that wakes you up in the middle of the night, that drives you, that pushes you forward? Don't let it die inside of you. You owe it to yourself to chase it. You owe it to yourself to go after it with everything you've got. And don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to stumble, to fall, to mess up. That's part of the process. What matters is that you get back up and keep going. You learn from your mistakes, you grow, you adapt. You move forward, you do not stop. You are capable of more than you know. You are capable of achieving more than you think. The world is waiting for you to step up, to show what you've got. So don't wait any longer. Go out there and make it happen. Because if you don't, somebody else will. And that's not a chance you can afford to take. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This journey is going to be tough. But you know what? You're tougher. You've got everything you need inside of you to make it. So get to work. Dream big, but understand that big dreams require big action. So get up, get moving, and do what you were born to do. And when you look back on this day, when you look back on your journey, you'll be able to say one thing: you gave it everything you had. You never gave up. You kept fighting. And in the end, you made your dreams come true. And that, my friend, is the true meaning of success. Achieving big dreams requires significant effort, sacrifice, and resilience. It's not about waiting for success to come to you, but about committing to the hard work, long hours, and challenges that will lead you to your goal. Setbacks, failures, and doubts are inevitable on the path to success. The key is to embrace these obstacles as part of the journey, learn from them, and use them as motivation to keep moving forward. Success isn't immediate, and it doesn't happen in a straight line. It's about showing up every day, staying consistent, and pushing through even when progress seems slower, when you're exhausted. The true reward lies not just in achieving your dream, but in who you become during the process. The growth, lessons, and strength developed along the way are the real successes of the journey. When you set your sights on something big, something that scares you a little, something that feels almost unreachable, you have to realize that you're signing up for a long and difficult journey. Dreaming big is not for the faint of heart. It's not for those who are looking for shortcuts or easy routes. It's for the people who are ready to get their hands dirty, to grind when no one is watching, and to put in the hard work that others aren't willing to do. You see, the world is full of dreamers, but not everyone is willing to put in the effort to make those dreams a reality. People talk about their goals, they talk about their ambitions, but when it comes to rolling up their sleeves and putting in the sweat, the tears, the time, many fall short. It's easy to have a dream. It's easy to wish for something more, to look at successful people and think, I want that, but the truth is, those people didn't get there because they sat around waiting for it to happen. They worked for it. They gave up nights of sleep, sacrificed weekends, and pushed through days when it felt like nothing was moving forward. They didn't stop. They kept going, and that is the difference.